Welcome to our Thanksgiving prep episode. Thanksgiving is my favorite day of the whole entire year because it's a holiday dedicated to eating and cooking and being around your friends and family and spreading love through food, which is literally my passion. So I'm so excited. Also, sorry for the jump scare. You see my hair? It's so fun and holiday. If you guys didn't know, the holidays are my peak season of the entire year. So I'm really trying to embrace fun and wonder and red that comes with the holidays. It's actually Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I have a lot of prep work to do. My client asked for quite a bit of sides, so that'll be a whole separate video. You'll see it on TikTok. It'll be the usual in the client kitchen. For my own personal Thanksgiving, I'm going to a family friend's house, so I actually don't have to do a lot of the cooking, but I am providing the dessert. I know you guys are gonna want this recipe, so stay tuned for that. We are on crust duty today. My client asked for a bunch of pies. They also want cinnamon rolls, so we have to prep the dough for that. So let's get to work.
Earthy Jane, the best chef in the world.
Let's walk through our responsibilities for today. Obviously, for my own Thanksgiving, way less pressure because I don't really care, you know, if my dessert doesn't turn out to be 5-star restaurant quality, it's okay. The dessert that I'm making for my personal Thanksgiving is going to be a gluten-free and vegan pumpkin whoopie pie with cream cheese frosting. As a kid, I used to eat whoopie pies quite frequently. It was like my favorite dessert with the chocolate, like very soft, spongy cake-like cookie. Very excited about those. And I have to do 2 batches of regular pie crust. We're doing all butter pie crusts. Don't come for me. Also, I don't have a food processor right now, so we're using a pastry cutter and we're just gonna pray that it works out. I'm going to at least get those into the pie pans. I would like to bake them before tomorrow morning. When I get to my client, I just have the shells ready to go. They also want brownies. They want 2 apple pies, 1 gluten-free, and 2 pumpkin pies. Those fillings are going to be made at the client's house. So this is basically a pie crust episode, but I think that's very important for the holidays. So we need to do that anyway. Let's get started. So I've combined all of the wet ingredients into this bowl. It is brown sugar, a neutral oil of choice. I used avocado oil, but I think coconut oil would also work, whatever you like. Pumpkin puree, it was a whole can, so you don't have to worry about not using the whole can and it going to waste. And vanilla. Then in a separate bowl, I combined all of the dry ingredients, the gluten-free flour, pumpkin pie spice, which is key, some of the leavening, and some salt. In this bowl, I have made a flax egg, which is going to be the binder in this recipe. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry, followed by that flax egg, and then mix that together. This smells so good. This is a super thick dough, so I'm going to let it sit here while I preheat the oven. Resting dough will really help it hold its shape when it's baked, so I'm gonna preheat the oven to 350, and while that's preheating, this will get to rest and hopefully thicken up a little bit more so it has more structure. My batter has sat for a while for these whoopie pies, and it's very thick. Kind of reminds me of like choux pastry. I'm going to line these 2 baking sheets with parchment. This is a 2-inch cookie scoop, and I'm gonna use this to form the whoopie pies. Okay, now we bake for, I'm gonna say 12 minutes, and we'll check. It might be more like 15, but we'll see. Now I'm making the cream cheese frosting that's gonna go in between the 2 pumpkin cookies. Just some vegan cream cheese, vegan butter, powdered sugar, and then this vanilla bean paste. This is my favorite, but You don't have to use this, you could just use regular vanilla bean. This cream cheese frosting looks so good. I don't really have room in here, to be honest. That'll do. I totally forgot that on my list for my own Thanksgiving dinner, I also want to make some cornbread. So I'm making some gluten-free and vegan cornbread, but it's going to be infused with rosemary from my garden. So I just clipped a few little sprigs from my herb garden, and then I'm infusing them in the neutral oil that I'm using in the cornbread. You can use coconut oil, avocado, vegetable, whatever you like. The rosemary infused oil smells amazing. I brought it up to pretty high temperature. I didn't measure the temperature, but the rosemary was starting to sizzle. And then I turned the heat off and put the lid on. I'm gonna strain the oil from the rosemary into this measuring cup. It has a slight green hue to it. I wanna get every last drop. Press the rosemary. It's kind of like a sponge, like it holds onto the oil. All of my dry ingredients for the cornbread measured out, and I'm also going to add my flax egg. Now I'm going to add the rosemary infused oil into the dry. Somehow a rosemary leaf made it through. How rude. And we mix. You can do this with any cornbread recipe or any recipe really that uses oil to just elevate any holiday dish. I love sage and like the butter flavor. You could do like a sage and brown butter, green beans, or you know, whatever. Okay, this has come together nicely. I have this baking pan. Just spritz it with some avocado oil. I don't think it'll stick, but just in case. Now I'm just flattening this out. Perfect. And I'm going to bake this at 350, 25 minutes, we'll see. My main kitchen oven is actually being used by the whoopie pies, so I'm gonna use the one out here in the casita. I actually just got this Wonder Oven from Our Place and I love it, and it just so happens that this dish fits in here. So let's try using that. See how she does. They're done, and now I'm going to take them and transfer them to a wire rack so that they can cool completely, and then I can continue to bake the rest of the batter. I'm going to use my knuckles to form cute ridges on the sides of the pie, just like that. Now I'm going to bake her at 350 for 10 minutes, and I'm going to add the beans to weigh it down. Fresh piece of parchment, crumbled up the parchment, pressed it lightly into the pie shell, and then I have these pinto beans that I'm going to use to weigh it down. Into the oven. It's time to fill whoopie pies. The cream cheese frosting is chilled. These are room temperature, so let's do it. That looks so good. Oh gosh, I'm making a huge mess. These look so good. I think I have to make one for a taste test now. This is so good. This recipe and many more holiday recipes are on Food Friends right now. There was a bunch of extra cream cheese icing from in between the whoopie pies, and I'm going to save that and bring it to my clients tomorrow because they need cream cheese frosting for on their dairy-free cinnamon rolls. So So it'll be perfect because it's already done. The crust has been blind baked and it turned out totally fine. It's very light and flaky. It looks delightful. I'm gonna let this cool now completely, and then I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap. That's everything I have planned for this video. I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.